free the legs. And at some points when it's hot outside, free the nips too. I am an advocate. God gave me my body. I'm going to show my body off. Not all of it because some of it's inappropriate, but free the nips and free my thighs too. You feel me? You feel me?
You probably saw a future with that person. Maybe you wanted to marry that person. And now you're still keeping in touch.
I can't stop myself from feeling. But I can control my actions.
Cheating can be great in a lot of areas.
Got me feeling good today.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Jam session number 6 with Jazz and
Montez. I seen you lose count.
I was like, wait.
Weeks after weeks of this thing, yeah.
They're all blurring together. Today, we're going to be talking about social media and work.
Today's podcast is sponsored by one of my favorite Timber Creek basketball players and his clothing brand. His name is Caleb. Go to his Instagram and make sure to support my guy.
Is that his sweatshirt?
This is his sweatshirt.
Okay, what does it say?
It says caution on it. It's like a nice little graffiti brand, like a little street brand. I like it. I like it a lot.
Ooh, I like it.
He is creative. He's a hooper. And it's scary because him and I play very similarly. We went to the same high school. I would have bust his ass, but we play wildly alike. We're not related in any way, but we play very similarly. It's like my little brother without being my little... It's crazy. But I still give him ducats.
He just had to throw that in there to let you know.
Too competitive not to. Still love you, bro. Still love you. Still my guy.
All right. Okay. Let's jump right into these questions. So we're going to start with some scenarios again. Here's the first one. You surprise your significant other with lunch at work, and you ask their coworker where they are, and they jokingly say, oh, they're at lunch with their work wife, or they're at lunch with their work husband. And then how do you respond to that?
My first assumption is to trust and to know about office gossip, and that person just trying to stir some shit up because they're bored in their day job. But then my second thought was, I'm an extremely flirtatious person just by nature. Like I have a conversation with somebody, and then whether I like them or I don't like them, I'm very open and welcoming. So it may come off as flirtatious. And typically I'm attracted to the same type of personality. So my significant other may be naturally flirtatious, but I would also want to trust that is just a lunch date. But I also might go on like Mission Impossible, turn into 00 Black Montez and go on a mission to figure out what, nah. I probably wouldn't, but I would definitely ask about it.
Would you show up to their lunch date, or you
No.
food and then you would?
No. I would leave the lunch on her desk and leave a nice little note like, hey, I was here.
And then you talk about it later.
Yeah. We have a conversation in private. That person who told me would not get a reaction out of me, though.
Oh, right.
I'd have been like, oh, yeah, she told me about that. Kind of sounds stupid because I'm bringing her lunch, but yeah, she told me that she has a work husband. But at no point would she see me crack.
No, absolutely
Definitely
not. Yeah, you'd have to play that one off real nice.
Yeah, for sure.
My response wouldn't be on the spot. That's for sure. It would be after the. I mean, we'd have a conversation about it. Like, oh, so who's this work wife you got? What's her name again? Have I met her? And I think we'd go from there. But what do you think a healthy boundary is?
I don't think I would care if I met him. I think I would more so just want to know about the communication part of it. Like, how often do you guys go on lunch dates? What are these lunch dates like? Nothing I have to worry about, kind of thing. But it wouldn't be like an interrogation. I would want it to be a calm, open conversation. Mm-hmm. And if it led to something that I didn't agree with and I found out about it, consequences and repercussions.
So here's the thing, right? So I had a friend, one of my best friends. I'm not going to mention any names, but she's a close childhood. We've been friends for a long time since we were I don't even know, maybe 3rd grade. So her man had a very close relationship with a coworker where they would be texting each other pretty much all day. And it had nothing to do with work. It was just like, oh, a photo that made me think of you, or something funny, or like meme, like just not work related, right? But they were just like, I think that was kind of the whole thing. It's like, oh, it's my work wife. Oh, it's my work husband. But it got to the point where she was like, hold up, wait a second. He would be sending them both, like her, which it's her man, right? Would be sending her like, oh, I'm at the, whatever, the same funny thing. Or like when he was out, like.
I'm a little lost. Wait, are you saying that she was the she was in the relationship with him, and she had a relationship,
No.
a work relationship, and then he started sending both of them.
No. She was the one that was dating him, and then he had a work relationship with another woman that was just, honestly, it was more of like a friendship.
Oh, your best friend is the woman.
Yes.
And then she's dating her husband, now husband.
Right. Yes.
And she has
he had a work wife.
Oh, okay.
Yes, at work.
Okay.
That she had not met. Like, but that was just
okay.
Yeah.
And she was texting him all hours and all
hours of the day and all hours of the night.
And then
like
she started messaging the wife as well?
No, it was just the husband, or the boyfriend at the time. But I mean, like, she would be like, wait, why is whatever her face is texting you like at 11 p.m. or whatever, you know, like just all the time and all throughout the day. He's like laughing at his phone. She's like, oh, what are you laughing about? Oh, just something, whatever her name sent him. But I'm saying that had nothing to do with work. Like it got to a point where she was like, all right, like you're going to have to make this a professional relationship, not just like your other best friend. Cause it was kind of like, that's what it turned into. What?
What was your thoughts on it?
I don't think that's respectful to your relationship. I mean, that if that has nothing to do with work, then there should be no reason to be communicating all day long and just becoming like, at that time, I mean, at that point, that's almost replacing your relationship in it.
That's extreme. Replacing?
But the thing is, it's like, if he's sending them the same thing, like, oh, I'm at this restaurant, I'm thinking, you know.
Oh, he's sending his girlfriend
yes! The same, like, oh, I'm here. Or, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this made, you know, oh, this is funny.
Okay,
let me send it to
saying.
both of them.
I thought you were saying that the work husband was sending both of them the same thing. Okay.
No.
I got you. Yeah, he's wilding. What first off, it's like
okay, good. I'm glad
he's tripping because he's giving the same type of accessibility to him in terms of location. That's not like I'm just being the same person with everybody else. Like that's a decisive thing of like letting someone know where you are that's wild. But like being a person and doing something is slightly different. So like if you're just a kind person and then your significant other expects you to be kind just to them and then rude to the rest of the world, I think that's
right. Ridiculous.
But if you're telling your significant other, oh babe, I'm going to get the groceries that we talked about and I'm going to cook dinner. I'll be home at this time and I'll make sure the bath is running for you because I know you had a long day. But then you tell that exact same thing to her and you just change the diction. Oh yeah, I'm going to the grocery store right now and I'll be doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that for her. For what? Like what? Why? Like that, at that point, I think you just need more attention. But then also just laughing out loud. So your things where you know, like there's some things that you can't control. Like it's hard to control a sneeze. It's involuntary. It's hard to control a cry. Sometimes that's involuntary. It's hard to control a laugh. But don't open a text message if she's right next to you. Like why would you do that? I guess that goes also back to the ideas like my best friend said, if you love them, don't let them know. But like, I don't agree with that. But at the same time, it's a level of respect. Like if she respected to a certain extent of you having that relationship with that other person, then cool. Don't push the boundary to see how far you can go because it's going to get to a point where you no longer have boundaries and then she is going to wild out of spite or just she just feels disrespected or she's balancing out the playing field. But like at no point should you be like in her face laughing wildly at some jokes consistently. How do you think that like at that point that you're now crossing the boundary of respect and potentially going into disrespect based on your relationship? Because you know that it's making her feel bad, and you're still doing that thing.
So it's only bad if you laugh at the jokes.
No.
Or should it just not be happening at all?
That's where the conversation needs to be held. You need to find that relationship should not be that far along, or that relationship should not be happening at all at this point because you took it too far. But that conversation needs to be held between them two. But they're married now,
right?
So I'm sure they got.
Oh yeah, no, that he had to make it. He had to make a choice.
Oh, not the ultimatum.
It did just get to a point where it was like, all right, this is just too much. And so, yeah, they figured it out.
Good for them.
Yep, good for them. You guys know who you are. Thank you for adding that to the podcast today. All right. We're going to move on from this one. How do you prioritize your relationships and your work?
this might be a hot take. So where I am at my life, I prioritize work first because it's been my mission to get to a certain point in my life before I can extend into a different part of my life. And what I mean by that is I can't wait to be a dad. Like my biggest thing in life is to be the best dad ever. But in order to do that, I set benchmarks for myself. So I want to achieve those things before I become a father. And this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but take the message, don't take the words. On that journey, then comes the relationships. Not saying she's a benchmark, but she is something that is going to be a great part of my life. And so are my work goals. It just so happens that my work goals, I can make sure that they're in my life in a certain way. But the person that I'm dating, the person I have kids with, I should say, for any reason at all, can just decide to not be in my life and not be in my kid's life. My work goals right now, up until I'm about a certain age, because that's my goal is to reach a certain number by a certain age, and I'm going to get that number, and then I can be a full-time dad comfortably by myself. If anything happens, I can literally be a full-time dad for the next 18 years. That's my objective. But along that comes a person that decides to live with me for the rest of our lives. And we have children. But my mission is not to be in a relationship. My mission is to be the best dad ever. And it just so happens that, in my opinion, being the best dad ever comes with having a woman in my kid's life as well. So right now, for the next 2 or 3 years, my job, my goals, my life goals are most important. And then after that, being a father is the most important. But the job thing is what leads into me being the best father. And it just so happens that that relationship can benefit on both sides of those things. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. That was long-winded, but hopefully y'all don't try to kill me for the answer.
Actually, so I read this book about, I can tell something that you just said that kind of shows what kind of a king you are. There's like these different
crown me, yeah. Call me a king. I like that.
There's different levels, right? There's the prince. I forget how it starts, but basically, you're a knight, then you're a prince, then you're a king. But the type of king that you are is you are trying to build. So there's 2 types of kings. This is what I learned. This is like a little relationship highlight. A little, you got a little, yeah. So there's 2. There's the type of king that wants to find their partner and build their kingdom with their partner, or build it together. And then there's another king that wants to build their kingdom and have it all ready, and then have his partner come in to the picture. I feel like the way that you're talking sounds like you pretty much want to build your kingdom, and then you would like someone to come alongside you and also continue to build that kingdom.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Right.
Continue. There we
right.
go.
So it's not like it's already going to be, and then that's it. But I'm saying you want to get it to a point where you're like, all right, I'm set. With or without you, I'm set. And I've already got my kingdom, and I'm established.
Right.
And I've got my roots. And
but
then,
it would be a great thing to still have that person.
100%.
There. Okay, yeah.
Which you obviously made that clear.
Yes.
But yeah, that makes sense why you said you would, that matters more, and then that will come later.
I would agree with that. I don't know what book that is, but thank you for calling me a king.
Okay, for me, I definitely prioritize my purpose over a relationship, because a relationship should add to your life, but it shouldn't be the sole focus and center of your life.
Wait,
at least
you changed the question.
No, how do you prioritize? So I'm
prioritize
saying
what?
Your relationships and work.
Work. You said purpose, not work.
Well, my work is my purpose. They go hand in hand.
So what is your purpose and what is your work?
Okay, well, if we're just talking about work, I do music for work. So
shout out to myself. I do music.
No, I'm just saying, but I do feel very purposeful in that work. And so that is what takes most of my time, attention, and focus right now. I think a relationship would add to my life, and I do prioritize relationships in general, not even just romantic. I prioritize relationships in my life because people matter, because relationships matter, because they're important in life. And honestly, family and friendships and who you're connected with and who's in your circle really is going to, they say you become like who you're with and who you surround yourself with. And that goes for even your future family that you're going to have, and the type of people that you want to raise your kids around, and all of that. Building those are so important. So I do prioritize them, but I do say that like as far as romance though, I think work still has to come first.
I was not expecting that answer, but continue. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But to comment off of what you said about being a father, being your number one, anyone who knows me, that's known me my whole life, like everyone knows that being a mom is my like number one thing in life too.
For real?
Oh yeah. You can ask anyone that has ever known me. Like being a mother is my like top, I cannot wait. And I've actually always said too, like so many women I know are so excited to like find their person, so excited to find their husband and their soul, all that kind of stuff. Not that I'm not excited, but I'm more excited to be a mom than I am to be a wife. Like, and that might sound backwards, but I think being a wife is going to be great and having my person is going to be wonderful. But I think being a mother is like the ultimate greatest honor of a lifetime, honestly, to raise the next generation, to pour into your kids, to help them find what they love and what they're good at, and then helping them like go farther than you ever did in life and seeing them succeed and surpass like even what you've been able to accomplish because of what you can pour into them. But I will say that, you know how you were saying like with or without someone, if they were to leave or whatever, that you would still be able to be the best dad ever. I do think that being raised in a home with like, it is so important to have a healthy marriage, like so important for the children, like not even just for your own self, but like for the kids to see the way that a man should treat a woman and a woman should treat a man, and like to see real love and to see it displayed in front of you, selfless love that is, you know, doesn't give up on each other. I think that's huge. So I think choosing who you have a family with is extremely important, extremely important. Choose wisely, because who you raise your kids with is like probably the biggest decision you're going to make in your life.
Yeah,
like
I would
one
agree
of the
with
biggest.
Before I say this, everything that you said, except for one thing I agree with. And that one thing you said, real love. Love can be defined by anybody. So when I say I agree with everything, how you define love is how you define love. How the next person defines love is up to them. That's their choice.
I should have said it in a different way. Love in action, like love as
it's however you define it. Everything else I agree with. And one point that I want to reiterate so that it is an easy takeaway. I said the most important resource is time. The second most important resource is like that 1A and 1B is definitely people. So the fact that you mentioned that is you get a massive thumbs up. Massive. You get 2 thumbs up from me, because people are what keep me motivated. The people that are here with me and the people that I imagine in my future as well. So I agree.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Now we're diving into some social media, like a little, not off topic, but because this is about work and social media.
Before we even hop into this question, I know, for all the folks out there, I know, okay? I suck at social media. I was just speaking with my manager. They sent me a PDF, and in the PDF, after speaking with them, in bold, it says, you need to post more content. Why do you have so much content and you're not posting it? Remember how I said there's things that I care about and I don't care about? I'm going to learn forcefully to care more about social media. Now, I don't know much about this realm, but I'm going to try to give my best responses because I see them as 2 different entities. Reality and social media.
Yep, that's true.
Okay.
This is just something that, first of all, I've found this question, but also I've seen so many relationships or so many women have this exact scenario. So you like provocative pictures on social media of people of the opposite sex. Your significant other feels it's disrespectful to the relationship and asks you to unfollow those accounts. What do you do?
I unfollow them. But also I don't follow people that I don't know or they're not in the industry and inspire me. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. I go about social media a lot differently than most people. One of my best friends, I'm not going to say his name growing up, but like I put my life and career on the line so that he could also have a chance at life. Like he did some things that I can't say that he should not have done, but he did some things that he did and he got in trouble for those things. And I put my name on the line to make sure that he could still have a shot at being a part of our team. And that's my guy. No matter what, I got him. He posts some things that don't inspire me to be a better person. Like, and I'm not against those things. It's just not for me. So I don't follow him. That doesn't mean I don't love that man, but it's social media. He can call me literally at any time and I got him. But sometimes he smokes a lot. And a lot of people that I know and love smoke weed a lot. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's not something that I want to see. And that's the culture that he loves. More power to him. I don't follow him on Instagram for that reason. So if I don't want to follow somebody, that doesn't mean that we're not friends. That just means I don't want to see the content that you're posting at that time. That's it. But it's just like this stigma behind, if you don't follow me, we're not friends in real life. I'm like, if that's your mentality, like you putting more pressure on social media and value on social media than my life, maybe we shouldn't be friends. Like that's very simple. But him and I, we don't have that problem because he knows I got him and I know he got me. But there's some people out here that be like, follow for follow. No, I don't care. I don't care if you follow me or not. I can really care less. I actually can care less. But that does not mean that I don't care about you. Like you clicking a button does not bring value or depreciate value of my life.
Ooh, I like that. So good. I agree with that. I really agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, but first of all, I don't follow people that post like a guy that just posts all. I don't really follow that either. I do follow some fitness people though that are friends of mine that are trainers or whatever, and they might be posting a lot of like shirtless stuff in the gym, but it's like all with a purpose, right? And it's their business, so it's a little bit. Yeah, different.
And I'm an advocate. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see like my basketball shorts tucked into my tights. Like I'm for a whole summer playing basketball in like the Jordan League and whatever that Nike League was. I was like, my whole caption was free the legs. And at some points when it's hot outside, free the nips too. I am an advocate. God gave me my body. I'm going to show my body off. Not all of it because some of it's inappropriate, but free the nips and free my thighs too. You feel me? You feel me? I'm just saying, like, all right, so let me put it in a different way as well. I take pride in the work that I put in. The same way someone else takes pride in something else that they put in. Moms, dads, they post their children a lot. They put a lot of time and energy into their children. And I respect that. I put a lot of time and energy into my body. Am I not allowed to show my body off because it makes someone else not feel great about their body? No, because at the same time, I am me. If you don't like that content, you don't have to follow me. And also, I could inspire somebody by being fit. Mm-hmm. I could inspire somebody by wearing their clothing. Right. Or another person's clothing.
But where do you draw the line with, so you kind of almost segued into another question. Where do you draw the line with, posting thirst traps on a story, or like if, let's say your girl is always posting herself in a bikini, like
I wouldn't date that type of person though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay. But then it's okay for you to be all half naked on your stories, like showing off your body because you're proud of your body. Maybe she's proud of her body.
That's fine.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Okay.
But there's class.
Okay. So determine that.
Oh, I don't know until I see it. But like, if every single pic is, if the person's life is defined by their nakedness, no. The reason that they're iconic is because of sex. No.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If they have nothing to offer but this, it's not for me. Yeah. But it's not because I don't respect that person. It's because if I was to date that person, it now becomes acceptable for my child to be able to do the same thing. And that's a no, an absolute no. The way I live my life is the way I live my life. Mm-hmm. The way somebody else decides to live their life, do your thing. Just don't bring it over here. That's all I'm saying.
I like that. That's a good answer. Yeah.
Was that social media? Yeah, it was social media. Okay.
Yeah, it was social media. These are things that happen. I just feel like they come up all the time. Like, and there does seem to be a double standard a little bit. Like if a girl posts herself at the beach, again, it, like you said, it's all about how it's posted, right? But some of it, it's like, you're doing it for attention, or you're doing it or you don't, who knows? Maybe you just want to show that you work hard for what you got, which is great.
I can't always agree with that. Sometimes, yeah, but 50+% of the world, that's a crazy number. I just threw that out there, by the way. But close to 50%, and my guess is not all them. They have had some type of like etch and sketch to their body. Let's not confuse the situation. And if you're going out seeking that attention, then that's the type of person that you're going to be attracted in as well. Like, it's plain and simple. I'm not gonna say like I'm not attracted. Like I don't see it, and I'm not like, damn, that looks good. I know it's fake, but like that looks good. I'm not saying that I'm even opposed to looking at it. I don't think that it's always gonna be for me. If that makes sense. Like, yes, you're attractive, but what you're posting, what you're responding to in comments is the life that you chose. There's goods and there's bads to that. You can't just expect the flowers and daisies. And with those posts and those comments comes a certain class of guy that typically won't come your way. That's it.
Amen to that. Amen to that one right there. I swear I know some people that dress a certain way when they go out, and then they wonder why the type of men that they. I was like, I'm trying not to give it away so hard, but I know some women that dress a certain type of way that does attract a very specific type of attention, and then they wonder why they can't find any quality people, you know. But anyways, that's another topic. That's a side.
On to the next.
All right. Your partner posts about their job, their dog, their family, their work, but not you.
I don't care.
Would this bother you?
No. I don't care about social media enough to care. Like, whatever they decide to post, that's their Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's their Facebook. That's their Twitter or X. It's called X now. I don't know. Their MySpace. I don't care what it is. It could be Snapchat, Twitch. I don't know other social platforms, but we going down the line. Whatever they decide to post is up to them until it becomes degrading.
What do you mean by that?
So I see everything in a grade, everything in a scale. There is the no-go zone. There is the go zone. Stay away from the no-go zone. If we're dating and that post goes up and you're like, bestie, and it's a dude with his shirt off and y'all on a beach, and I don't know what the scenario is. There's wine and it's like this,
Wait,
y'all under the stars, and it's something like beautifully romantic. You got me f***ed up. Even if it's like the time that you decide to post about me, because I'm a very like, my problems are my problems. If it's decide that you want to subtweet about me and it's explaining a scenario of like what we talked about or a problem that we're having that's unsolved, and you're voicing your opinion about it and there's no other side, I might be a little bit upset about that too. But like, there are consequences and repercussions of all actions, some bigger, some smaller. But yeah, if someone posts something that is like the no-go zone, I'm very communicative, so like they would know what the no-go zone is, and out of respect for me, they should also know what should and shouldn't be. There is some things that can be posted on social media that I'll be like, you took it too far. Conversation will be held. I'm not saying that it would be like immediate cutoff in every regard, but yeah, there's certain things that.
Right. This specific question was actually just saying, would you care if they just never posted you ever, but they posted about everything else in their life?
I don't care.
Right. So yeah, that was the short answer.
Yeah, the short answer is yes, I don't care. But there is a no-go zone. If you post something, if it's not about me, and you're posting something else, that's like you're building a narrative that is not true. It's okay to like not have all of your life on your personal Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's fine with me. But when you start building a narrative that doesn't subject to who I am as well, now we do have an issue, because there's no reason for us to be dating.
For me, it really depends, because first of all, it depends on the person. It depends on other things. But for me, like, my social media is strictly business. Like, my account isn't even personal. Everything that I post has to do with my work. So I don't know. I even thought about like, oh, maybe I'll make a personal account for like friends and family so they can see what my real life looks like versus just all the highlights of like the things that I'm doing, you know, on a work basis. But I think I would want to have the conversation at least of like, okay, we've been dating for a year, and, you know, is there a reason why you want to look completely single on your social media? Because that's really what it is. If you don't have any like even trace of that there's anyone in your life, first of all, you know, I'm sure those DMs are full of like women thinking that you're, or men, whatever, either way, thinking that you're definitely free and on the market because your social media is showing that you are. So what is the reason behind it? Is it?
Oh, it's just a personal choice. But I don't, my mind didn't go there. So like, again, I wouldn't date somebody that I would assume is, yes, there's going to be people in her, what you call it? In her DMs.
Yeah.
There's going to be people in her DMs. But that doesn't mean that she's engaging. So my thought process is like, I'm with somebody that I trust.
Right.
So like, I don't parade myself around. I don't expect people to parade me around. Like you know what's crazy? I actually had this conversation when I was in like middle school. I don't like when people hoist me as like their trophy.
No one likes to be a trophy. Oh, that's not true. Some people do.
Yeah, right. A lot of people do. Yeah, I don't like to be someone else's trophy. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not a prized possession. Like, I'm not like a good dude to be with. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I don't want to be the conversational piece of every conversation. Like, if her and I were to have a mutual understanding that it's her and I don't need the world to justify it. But the DMs thing, the world of the DMs, I'm still learning about. That shit is crazy. That shit is wild. But I didn't think about like what's going on in her DMs. I thought like it's what she decided. That's what she decided to post.
Yeah.
Maybe I should think more about that.
I don't know. To each their own. That was just my thought process on it.
I don't know. I just had this idea like if I'm with somebody, I'm just going to trust them.
As you should.
Okay. So I'm going to trust their better judgment. If they decide not to have a certain thing on their Instagram, just like there's a lot of things not on other people's Instagram, it is what it is to me. Mm-hmm. I know who I have. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm not there, it doesn't like put a hole in me for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't need that validation. You know that what you have is what you have. Like.
Okay, so what I'll pose a different question. Which order the top 3 social platforms for you?
The ones that I'm on the most, like
yeah,
Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
TikTok. Okay. In that order. So you're on Instagram most, then Facebook, then TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you're not on their Instagram, but you're on their Facebook, you're not on their TikTok, is that acceptable or not acceptable?
Well, now it poses the question of like, why wouldn't, if you're gonna post me on Facebook, why wouldn't you?
That's not the question.
What's the question?
Is it acceptable? You're on their social media.
Oh, I mean, either one is. It's not like one's acceptable and one's not. Some people like to keep their relationships private until they're like, oh, bam, I'm engaged. You know, like.
Yeah, that's wild. I've actually had some people who are like messaging me, trying to get with me, and then like 2 weeks later they're engaged, and I was like, whoa. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You're not on their Instagram. You're on their Facebook. You're not on their TikTok. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What if it's you're not on any of them? That's still acceptable.
Like I said, that
totally yes or no?
It's acceptable if it's acceptable for your relationship. That is like.
All right, next question.
You're asking me a personal question. Is it acceptable to me? It depends.
All right, next question.
Do you follow any of your exes on social media?
No.
Why? Like if you have a good relationship with them, or not relationship, but more so like.
I mean, if any of my exes were to call me and absolutely need something, just the person I am, I would help. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like every person walking this planet has value.
I agree with that. I'm
not saying that their problems become my problems, but I would definitely want to help if they're in need. But there's no reason for me to be. I don't feel the need to follow them on. It's just I avoid temptation. None of me and my exes are. That's not true. I actually do follow one of my exes. The rest of them, no, I do not.
Why do you follow that one ex? I'm
actually a fan of what she does. She still she inspires me in a professional sense. I didn't even think about that. I caught myself. I'm glad we continued that conversation. I almost lied, and I don't like lying.
I don't follow any of my exes, and I don't have a reason to. I also like to cut things. Like if it's over, that's it. I don't think. Again, if I have had instances where people called me out of need, or like I've helped people out if they needed it, but there is a boundary there. You can't be calling me all the time like, oh, I need your advice on this, or no, you lost that privilege, you know? No, I don't follow them just out of like, I don't see that there's a reason why. I like to make things very clear. It's black and white for me. So you're either in my life or you're not. And if they're not, then there's no reason why I should be like keeping up and following on what they're doing, what they're up to. Okay,
All right,
next question. Okay. All right, you get an offer for your dream job, but it's across the country. You accept the job knowing that your partner doesn't want to move, but you move without them anyway. Basically, they don't have a say in it. So does this mean that you value your work over the relationship?
Yes.
That one's kind of obvious, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, in that moment, yeah. Like for me, I'm an actor, so like I'm going to get jobs across the world. So yeah, I'm taking the job.
Yeah.
You just gonna have to believe that in time I'm gonna come back. That's it. Like if she doesn't believe that I'm gonna come back, then why are you with me? What, like, make it make sense. You agree?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Especially with like, yeah, what I'm going to be doing as well. Like there has to be that mutual trust. And also I would never be with someone that wouldn't support me getting my dream job and going for it. Like if you want to hold me back because you selfishly want me to stay in like wherever we currently are, I'm not that type of person. So I most likely wouldn't be with someone that wouldn't support me going for my dream. And I would always want to support the person that I'm with to chase after their dream and not let the relationship hold it back. All right. I think we agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say something if your significant other constantly posted thirst traps on their stories? How would you go about addressing the issue? Or let's say she just started to post like more stuff like that on her story. How would you address the issue?
Is there a reason? Is she like trying to rebrand, or like what's the situation? But also, like, if her rebranding is against the terms of our relationship, then she chose the work situation over our relationship in a way that is not redeemable, because that's a job that is a very much so a choice, and it's a choice that's so far on the opposite end of what I care about on my like priority list. Like social media to me it went from being a game to being more important than reality. And when the game has more weight than what I consider to be more important, then our values are disaligned. It's probably not important for us. It's not good for us to be in a relationship. If you decide that you're seeking attention after you are in a relationship with me in that way, then you've decided that you didn't want to be in a relationship with me. Not saying you didn't want to be in a relationship in general.
Yeah.
But you decided that you didn't want to be in a relationship with Tez.
I think for me, before jumping to conclusions, I'm not saying that this would be their job. I'm just saying, let's just say I'm going to be hypothetical here. I'm dating someone and they're really proud of, I don't know, their body. They start posting it every single day. Like it's all about their physicality and they're really attractive and they're smiling and they're just being very, however they are. And then knowing that that draws a certain type of attention, would I like write them off because of that? No. I think that it would be maybe a conversation that would be had as far as like, is there a reason that you feel the need to have that kind of attention, and is it lacking in our relationship, or am I not giving you the amount of attention that you need in order to feel, I don't know.
That's a responsible way of looking at it. But
well, because if you feel the need to have constant validation elsewhere, then like where is it lacking in our relationship where you feel the need for more?
Well, we're human. We're always looking for constant validation. Let's not forget, even at work, trying to get a promotion. Social media, that's the reason.
But like physical attention is kind of empty attention because people don't even know who you are. They're just liking the way that you look. Like that's so
your opinion.
Okay. I'm saying attention that is purely physical, it doesn't hold that much weight because people could love what they see, but they don't even really know you. So it doesn't hold as much weight versus someone who does know you and
You might have contradicted yourself. Did you say before? Maybe I misheard you. Did you say before that you believe in love at first sight? No, you said no. You said no. But you did describe the story about your grandparents.
Right.
Right. You said no. All right.
Okay. All right. Anyways, that's the end of this session, everyone. And our next session, we're going to be talking about self-love and how does that play into your relationships.
I love the shit out of myself. Let that be known right now. I work on myself every day. All right, we gonna talk about it next time.
Tune into the
next come to the next session for sure. We're absolutely sure.